What's going on, LEGO Maniacs? It's Ty, the LEGO guy here, and welcome to another episode of To Invest or Not to Invest. Today we're going to be taking a look at the LEGO Star Wars 2022 Spring and Summer Investment Guide. This may be one of the strongest years as far as LEGO Star Wars sets go, so it's going to get interesting. This is also going to obviously help out the collector, because the last thing we want to happen is for a set that we really wanted ends up retiring. We didn't pick it up and it ends up appreciating a ton, and as well as the investor on which sets we should maybe buy and which ones we should steer clear from. But enough talk, let's get right into it. And to kick us off, we'll begin by taking a look at number 18. Before we continue though, I just wanted to mention that this is not professional investing advice. Invest at your own risk. But the model we're choosing, it does pain me. It's the 75329 Death Star Trench Run. I think that this is a really cool looking set, very unique for LEGO Star Wars. However, there are no minifigures in it. It also only has a couple unique printed pieces. So because of those reasons, I put it at number 18. Again, not a bad looking model. It's just something that you could maybe brick out on Bricklink, and you'd just be without those printed pieces. So because of that reason, I put it at number 18, along with it not including any minifigures. Again, not a terrible set. I just couldn't justify putting it ahead of any of these other models. And at number 17, we've gone with my least favorite LEGO Star Wars set of 2022. It's the 75343 Dark Trooper helmet. This model retails for $70 USD. And I do realize that the helmet sets generally do appreciate once they retire, some of them quite a bit, but this is just not a very good looking helmet. And I know a lot of other LEGO enthusiasts feel the same way. So because of that, I put it at number 17. Just overall don't like it too much. And let me know in the comments if you like the set or not, but it's just not for me. And at number 16, we've gone with a very debated set. It's the 75334 Obi-Wan Kenobi vs. Darth Vader. This model retails for $50 USD. And yeah, there's a lot of different opinions about this one. I will say that the build is quite lackluster, but the minifigures are quite good, which is the reason why I put this at number 16 and not at the bottom of the list. Still, I think this one's going to be a difficult one to kind of invest in. But again, I feel that those minifigures may be its saving grace, and the reason why this model may not be a terrible investment. And at number 15, we've gone with the 75339 Death Star Trash Compactor. This model retails for about $90 USD. And I have to say, I like this model. I think it's a great display piece. I think the minifigures are good, but the problem with it is the minifigures are not really exclusive to this model. They've been included in a number of others. The C-3PO though, he does have arm printing, which makes him quite unique. And the R2 has back torso printing, which is nice. But that R2 is probably going to be used in other sets. And the C-3PO, yes, that is probably the main reason why this model will appreciate. However, it's just not enough for me to put it up any higher. But I still think it's a good set, and definitely worth the purchase if you're a collector. And it overall isn't the worst investment, but again, it's just not the best. At number 14, we've gone with my favorite LEGO diorama. It's the 75330 Dagobah Jedi Training. This model retails for about $90 USD, and I have to say it's a gorgeous looking set. The reason why it made its way this low on the list though is the last Yoda's hut that they made, which was not a diorama, bear in mind, but that model is going for almost twice as much as what it retailed for when it was on shelves. That's the main reason why I put this model so low. However, it is still a good display piece. You get a unique looking Luke, or at least a somewhat unique looking Luke. You also get R2 with mud all over him, and he also has back torso printing, which is nice. But again, this is just too similar to the Yoda's hut, which did quite well in the aftermarket, but not all that great, which is part of the reason why this made its way at number 14. And at number 13, we've gone with the 75338 Ambush on Ferrix. This set retails for $70 USD, and it's just such an odd looking vehicle. Is it a Republic gunship, or is it a baby version of it? Nobody knows. It has some interesting looking minifigures. This model really reminds me of the Wookiee gunship, and that set didn't do all that well on the aftermarket. Again, this is just an odd looking ship. I do like it though. I just can't really imagine this set going for all that much on the aftermarket. I will say though, it does get unique points. LEGO will probably never make this model again in the future, which that, along with the minifigures being quite good, is the reason why I put this at number 13. Cool, unique looking set, but again, it's just not enough to really put it any higher. And yeah, I know a lot of LEGO fans also don't really like this model. However, I don't think it's terrible. I just don't think it's the best set. And at number 12, we've gone with the 75325, the Mandalorian's N1 Starfighter. This one retails for 60 USD, and I have to say it's a pretty decent looking ship. I also recently found out that Naboo Starfighters go for quite a bit on the aftermarket. So because this is the Mandalorians, which is quite popular, along with it being a Naboo Starfighter, which also tend to appreciate on the aftermarket, that's the reason why I put this so high, or mid-tier almost on the list. The minifigures are also quite good. This is probably the only time you'll get Pelly, and the Mandalorian does have face printing, but I feel that this will be included in any future sets that include the Mandalorian as well. Still though, I feel that this comes in at number 12. Not the best set to invest in, but it's definitely not the worst. At number 11, we've gone with the 75327 Luke Skywalker Red 5 helmet. This retails for 70 USD, and I really like this helmet. I feel it's very unique looking, has a lot of unique printed pieces, stickers, as much as we don't like stickers, but it's just an overall very nice looking model. And as we discussed before, helmet sets generally do appreciate, and on top of it being a helmet set, it's probably the most unique. So because of those reasons, this falls in at number 11. And at number 10, we've gone with the 75328, the Mandalorian helmet. This model retails for 70 USD as well, and I have to say it's a pretty good looking helmet, very similar to Boba Fett's. I do wish that there were more chrome pieces included in it, but again, it has a fair amount of chrome pieces, which is nice, and it is based off the Mandalorian. The Mandalorian is very popular, in case you're new to Star Wars, so because of those reasons, I've put it at number 10. And as we continue on this list, I just wanted to mention that the top 10, you can really put them wherever you want. They're very close in my books. But at number 9, we're going with the 75333 Obi-Wan Kenobi's Jedi Starfighter. This one retails for 30 USD, and it's a really good looking ship. Also, in case you guys are wondering, Obi-Wan's Starfighters generally appreciate quite a bit on the aftermarket. You also get a great slew of minifigures that are included, including the first Kaminoan. So because of those reasons, I put this at number 9. Again, I could see you putting it higher, but yeah, this is definitely an awesome set to invest in. It's also not that big, not too difficult to store, and it's pretty cheap. So it gets a thumbs up in every way, including for the collector. If you like this set, go out and buy it. It's a great model. At number 8, we've gone with the 75335 BD1. This one retails for about 100 USD, and it's just a very interesting little droid. What scares me about it is the R2-D2 that we got back in 2012. It isn't going for all that much on the aftermarket. However, this one gets unique points. This is something LEGO probably will never make again, or if they do, it will be in years to come. So once this does retire, I can see a lot of collectors wanting it. Very interesting, unique looking set, and yeah, I feel it's going to do quite well on the aftermarket. And at number 7, we've gone with the most difficult set for me to rate on this list. We're going with the UCS 75341 Luke Skywalker's Land Speeder. Yes, I know it's another Land Speeder. And just in case you guys are wondering, this model retails for 240 USD, but it is the UCS version of it. It's still a very good looking set. And yeah, I still think it's gonna do well in the aftermarket, just like most UCS sets do. However, because it is Luke's Land Speeder, I think it's gonna do a little bit worse, but again, not enough for it to go any lower on this list. I feel, yeah, it very fairly comes in at number 7. And at number 6, we've gone with another tricky one. It's the 75326 Boba Fett's Throne Room. This one retails for 100 USD, and I know a lot of LEGO fans don't really like the look of it. They feel it can be improved, myself included. However, it's still Jabba's Palace. The Jabba's Palaces we've got in the past have all done really well on the aftermarket. This also has a great slew of minifigures. If this was a perfect Jabba's Palace, it would have found its way higher up on the list, like if it was more similar to the 2012. However, it's not perfect, which is the reason why it's made its way on at number 6. Still though, I think it's going to do quite well, just not quite as well as the 2012, but overall, still a pretty good choice. And at number 5, we're going with a set that could be argued to be at number 1. It's the 75324 Dark Trooper Attack. This one retails for 35 USD, and I have to say that the build is not fantastic. It's not terrible either, but This is from one of the best scenes from The Mandalorian. You get Luke Skywalker, but the main reason why this model is going to appreciate is those Dark Troopers. Before this model came out, and the Dark Trooper was only included in Moff Gideon's cruiser, those minifigures were going for like 50, 60 USD. Crazy amounts. So if they just stay in this set along with Moff Gideon's cruiser, once this does retire, I wouldn't be surprised if this goes for $100. It's the perfect investment choice as well, just because it is so small and it is quite cheap. This model strongly finds its way at number 5. And at number 4, we've gone with the 75323, the Justifier. This model retails for about 170 USD, but you may be saying, Ty, why on earth would you rate this so high? There's been negative reviews on it, it's overpriced, and I have to agree that it is overpriced. However, large-scale LEGO Star Wars ships in particular tend to go for a lot on the aftermarket, especially if they only ever made them once. Like, take a look at the Ghost, even take a look at the Republic gunships, the Razor Crest when it does retire, the Venator. Large-scale ships that have only ever been made once that are Star Wars tend to go for a lot of money on the aftermarket. This set also has some nice minifigures. 3 of them are unique to it. But again, the main reason why is the ship. This will probably never be remade again, and it's going to be something that a lot of LEGO Star Wars collectors are going to want, including myself. For that reason, I feel it falls at number 4. And at number 3, we've gone with the 75342 Republic Fighter tank. This model retails for 40 USD, and this may surprise you. You may say, this is not a very well-designed tank, and I have to agree, it could be better. However, every single Republic fighter tank that LEGO's put out, once it does retire, it appreciates a ton on the aftermarket. The other thing that's really going for this model is it has the best minifigures out of any Republic fighter tank that have been included. You get 3 awesome clones. The Mace Windu also is made in the Clone Wars style, so he has some arm printing, which is great. And if he stays to this set, if they don't include him in any other, that's just going to help the value of this one a bit more. Because of those reasons, being the Republic fighter tank tends to appreciate a ton on the aftermarket, and the minifigures are fantastic, makes me put this at number 3. Again, it's not a perfect set, but don't be surprised if this goes for about $100 a year after it retires. And at number 2, we're going with what may be my favorite LEGO Star Wars set of 2022. It's the 75336 Inquisitor Transport Scythe. This model retails for 100 USD, and it's a gorgeous looking ship. It really reminds me of Krennic's Imperial Shuttle, which I also really like. The minifigures though, the minifigures are fantastic. You get 3 Inquisitors along with Obi-Wan Kenobi. Bear in mind that the Inquisitor is very valuable. The last Inquisitor that we got back in the TIE Advance, it was this TIE Advance model that came out about a decade ago. When Obi-Wan Kenobi came out, that minifigure was going for a crazy amount, so he's quite a desirable figure. You also get 2 other Inquisitors along with Obi-Wan, like we mentioned. This ship just has it all. You get an awesome ship, awesome array of minifigures, which are also quite unique. Because of those reasons, this very strongly falls into number 2, and there's a definite argument to make it number 1. And at number 1, we've gone with the 75337 Att Walker. This one retails for 140 USD. This model really has it all. Some are saying that this is the best ATTE that's ever been made. And in case you guys are wondering, ATTEs do very, very well on the aftermarket, but there's more. The other reason why this set's so valuable is it's the only one to include a Phase 2 Cody. You also get a number of clone troopers that are included. This is just the perfect Clone Wars set, and Clone Wars sets, in case you guys are wondering, also do very, very well on the aftermarket. So between this being an ATTE, a Clone Wars set obviously, along with including the only Phase 2 Cody that we've ever got as of now, makes this a very safe choice, and it's one of those models I feel is going to do extremely well in the aftermarket, which is the reason it comes in at number 1. But that pretty well does this episode of To Invest or Not to Invest. As always, guys, let me know what your personal thoughts are on this list. If you change it in any way, always interested to hear your guys' take. But that pretty well does it. But if you liked the video, leave it a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, definitely consider subscribing and click that bell so you're notified for any future To Invest or Not to Invest. We do one of them basically every month, every 6 weeks, but that's all I got for you again. But thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.